Hello friends, this is George on social media. This is PC Careman to my geek friends. So we're going to talk today about how can you tell if your network and your computer ports are secure in your computer. There's over 65,000 ports in a computer system, Windows 10 and etc. Every port has a value. Your browser uses port 1080 and etc. Your email client uses a port. Okay, so you can look at them as if they are doors, okay, doorways to your system. So basically, you wouldn't leave a front door or a door open in your property if it's unsecure, especially if you're not there. So we're going to show you how to check your network, okay? So if you're sitting today with a laptop, a Windows 10 laptop, for example, or a MacBook, or a Linux distro OS, or a tablet, or a mobile phone. Well, basically what you want to do is you want to go to Shields Up, type in Shields Up into your browser. And this is what you'll be presented with. Now you will notice this is my systems. Everybody's system will be different. You'll notice that there's no internet connection. Or sorry, your internet connection has got no reverse DNS, okay? That's because I understand computer security and cybercrime, okay? So I know what to do and what to use to stop my system from leaking information. But obviously yours will probably give you your IP address, okay? So it's not a good idea to broadcast your internet protocol telephone number unless you know how to change it. Okay, so when you come to this site, you want to click proceed. Give it a few minutes to go through the process. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to check your file sharing ports. Now, services in operating systems can be used to exploit a system. Okay, and what I mean by that is it can be used depending on the knowledge of the other person. The possibility could be targeting your system may know how to gain access to a particular service. So, attempt to connect to your computer. Port 139 does not appear to exist. Now this is my system, yours may vary. If you find yours is open, then you take a note of the port number and you do some research on how to close it. Okay, now next thing you want to do is go to the common ports. So these would be the common ports. This IP address, friends, it'll take you nowhere, okay, because I know how to use the system. But don't be tempted to do your own because you could be flooded with packets or there's a number of things could happen. Okay, so what I am looking for here is stealth. And this is exactly what you're looking for. There's no evidence whatsoever that a port or even a computer exists at this IP address, okay? And this is what you want. You want to be operating in stealth, okay? If you want to know what port 1025 is, research it, understand it, and you learn that bit more. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is all service ports. Now, as I say, I'm not worried about that IP address being exposed because it's going to lead you nowhere, okay? There's probably 5 billion people using it. So I'd say good luck on that one. Okay, so you're checking your service ports, and what you're looking for is the green stealth mark, okay, which is quite simple. Now, if you end up with the same results as me, then you're pretty happy and pretty safe. Providing you do not click on a link if someone sends you a message and you don't know who it's coming from, because it only takes one silly mistake to make your system weak. So there's an old saying as veterans, don't open something you don't know what's in it. Okay? So basically, don't open something on your system when you don't know exactly where it came from. Now, possibility it came from a friend that's on your social media. Here's a possibility you trust that friend, but there again, how much technology information does your friend know? Your friend might have been infected, might know nothing's happening on our system. Maybe our system has been slow for a long time, and your system becomes infected automatically. Every contact you have, as soon as they open the message, becomes infected. So it's all about simple procedures. Okay, so of course I learned this many years ago. Okay, so if you get something like that, then you're happy to go. Now, of course, I could go one step further. Universal plug and play can be used as an exploit to gain access to systems. Universal plug and play is used for sometimes gaming and multimedia. You can still use it without it, believe it or not. So I'm going to do what they call a universal plug and play exposure test, and it's going to target my network hub system to see if it leaks. Now, I know in my network I have turned it off, disabled it. It comes by default on. A lot of people don't know how to do it. We will cover that on a further date. So we'll do a GRC instant. Okay, so it's going to basically send packets of data, which is UDP packets, large packets. Okay, and it says the equipment at the target IP address did not respond to your universal plug and play probes. Okay, so I know I'm secure. Now, some may argue, how do you know this site's secure? Well, this site is designed by a guy called Steve Gibson. A guy that I have been following for over, I would say, near 20 years, maybe more. And he does what they call Security Now podcasts. That's the old report from America, Silicon Valley, and that's Steve. That was obviously a prone system or a PR they done for a particular shoot. Now, Steve covers podcasts, okay? Game collusion. Some people may wonder what that is. Some people may find that this is too deep for them. Friends, I love it. So I listen to, on YouTube, I can watch the video, or I can listen to the audio. Dependent confusion. So when you start listening to all these top security podcasts, you start to understand how people can gain exposure to your system. You start to understand how people can use scramblers and jammers for jamming mobile networks. You start to understand how people can use programs to jam the frequency of your computer. And you start to understand how you can deal with it. Now, he has been doing it from 2005. Okay, so I'm not suggesting you go back to 2005, but if you look at one particular one, Virtual Private Network Securing Tunnel Solutions, he covered it in 2005, 24th of November. Did I listen to it? Yes. He talked about rootkits and Sony's copy protection going bad in 2005. Bad Wi-Fi security, MAC filtering on address. You can use MAC changing programs to fake your MAC address. October 2015. So that's who the guy is. So that's why I trust him, because I know of Steve and I know he's a genuine bloke. I also know that what he doesn't know is not worth knowing. Okay, so that's how to check your system. Now, if your ports are open on your system, obviously there's so many ports open because you're using a particular service or a browser. But if you find that you have other ports open and you don't know what they are, do some research on the port number. For example, if I was to go to my browser, now a lot of people won't do this because they don't want to know until their computer's not working. Then they're hoping for a friend, or they're going to a computer shop and they're going to pay for it. So aren't you lucky that you're getting it free with no catch whatsoever? Friends, I'm on Anchor FM Spotify, iTunes. Okay, feel free to tune in under George on PC Caramon. So if I want to check out a particular port, okay, so what is port 19? Oh, what is port 1935? Just for an example, 36. It'll tell me that this port is used the transmission control protocol. It is one of the main protocols in the TCP/IP networks. TCP is a connection oriented protocol. It requires a handshake to set up an end-to-end communications. So I know what that port is. Obviously, you're not going to learn this in 10 minutes. Okay. So unfortunately, people use operating systems. They know how to browse, they know how to send email, but they don't know how to secure their systems. Okay. And unfortunately, everybody that buys a computer comes by default settings, remote access, a few other services are turned on, and they can be used to exploit your system. Okay, so it's basically what the other person knows. So, how many ports is there in a computer? Over 65,000. Trojans in the olden days, which are malicious code that's designed to damage systems and do certain things. Trojans use what they call high port numbers. Now there's one there, for example, port 1863, TCP port on UDP port. UDP is large packets. What is a Trojan port? There's a definition. Now some people believe in having an antivirus program. I'm secure, nobody can touch me. Friends, you are secure to a certain extent. Your ISP is supposed to secure so many ports in your computer, but you're not guaranteed. So I always have a couple of standalone tools, okay? And I also try to buy the third-party program, the best I can afford, that's got the best antivirus engine built into it. So basically the best database and the best write-up from computer experts. It helps, okay? So Windows 10 does have an antivirus program. If you're using a Mac, I'd recommend you use an antivirus program. The days of the MacBook that wasn't compatible with viruses is gone. Okay, so what is an SMTP service port? Is port 25. Okay. Which is your email client? Okay, because I know by the SMTP. Okay, so that's how you learn, friends. Okay, so a small video on how to check if your system's secure. If you see what I seen in mine, be quite happy about it. But at the same time, be careful when you download apps on your devices. Some apps, unfortunately, are not checked as good as what we thought. Okay, so this may save you a few quid. If your system gets infected, you might know what to do. You also can infect other people. It's not to make you paranoid, it's to make you wise. Okay, so it's quite simple to do, friends, on how to check. If you find out that one of your ports is closed and not completely in stealth, it's still closed. Now, some ISP, internet service providers, some of their hubs that they supply with their television programs, there's a possibility a certain port has to be open, okay, for that particular reason. So, another wee bit of technology information for people that want to learn, okay. Now, before you say what I know, what I don't know I learn, and that's been going on for quite a number of years. Do I know it all? No. Can I help you? Possibility. Will I help you? That's another possibility. Okay, friends, so another piece of the jiggle and technology information. Thank you very much for tuning in. Follow me on Anchor FM, PC Caramon, PCCAREMON. I also have a website up, PC Caramon, www.pccaramon.webs.com. You'll find me on YouTube under PC Caramon and many other sites. where you will get bits and pieces of technology information. Okay, and some of the stuff I have covered might be complicated, but some of it will save you money. Okay, thank you for tuning in and safe browsing.